I never really liked school when I was younger. I don't know what it was, but when I was in high school, I couldn't wait to get out of high school and graduate so that I could start college. And when I got into college, I took as many credits as I could so that I made sure that I got done in 4 years so that I could get out of college as soon as I could and start my professional career. As I got older, I realized that I liked learning, but I just didn't like taking the tests, doing all the studying, and being forced to read things that I most likely wasn't even interested in. But the learning is what I really enjoy, and that's what I'm talking about today, being a lifelong learner of the outdoors. Hey everybody, this is Jason with Wisconsin's Outdoor Explorer, and welcome back to the podcast. Before I really get into my topic, I want to thank everybody who's tried out the podcast, and I know the audio quality hasn't been great. I've been working on a few things, trying a few different mics. I'm doing the podcast in my truck because it is one of the quieter places, plus it gives me the time being with my commute back and forth to my regular job. So it's a good time for me to sit down and podcast in my vehicle here. And I've been working on mics and working on setups so that you get a clearer sound without so much of the background noise. So, be patient with me. I'm very new to this podcasting thing, and I am doing my best to make the product better each time. I'm learning something every time I put together a show. Be patient with me. Send me comments if you got any comments about the show. I'd love to hear from you about things that I can improve on or things that you'd like me to talk about. So with that, let's get started in today's show. My oldest daughter really loves wolves. It's kind of a recent thing she just started, probably, last 6 to 8 months. She's really getting into wolves. I don't know where or why, but she is. For those of you who have kids, you kind of understand that kids kind of go through phases in life where they like things and then they stop liking it and like something else. And I guess that's part of being a kid. We all went through that. My youngest daughter, she's into unicorns this year, and a year ago it was llamas. My middle daughter, she's been into owls, and, I give my middle daughter credit because she's really stuck with the owls. She's loved owls probably since she was like 1 or 2 years old. So she's found the one thing I think so far in her life that she really likes. She's kind of been the odd one out of our group of girls where she's found something that she likes and she hasn't changed her mind. So, but anyway, back to my oldest daughter with the wolves. Recently I came across a advertisement in our local paper about a wolf lecture that was happening near us. So I asked her if she wanted to go, and yeah, she was really excited about going. So we did. It was a Monday evening lecture, and my daughter's fairly young yet, so I wasn't sure how she would handle a lecture. I kind of had an idea what it was going to be like. It was a presentation done by Scott Walter of the Wisconsin DNR, and it was sponsored by the Marathon County Historical Society. And I figured it would talk about, the population of wolves and maybe some of the concerns that some people have had about wolves and some of the things that DNR are doing. I knew there'd be charts and graphs and things like that. So I was kind of curious to see what she would get out of it. And honestly, I was curious to see what I would get out of it as well. So we went to the lecture. It was really well done. I was very impressed with it. It was very informative. I learned a lot about wolves that I didn't know, and she really enjoyed it as well. She learned so much, and my oldest daughter, she's a talker. So if you can keep her quiet for an hour, you're really doing something. And he was able to do that. He was able to keep her engaged the whole time, and she learned a lot about wolves, and I think her love of wolves grew even a little bit more after this. I could tell how much she enjoyed the presentation just because on our way home, that's all she talked about. She talked about, I didn't know this, and I didn't know that, and that was exciting. I didn't know they were almost gone, and now they're bringing them back, and now they're saying there's too many, and what can they do to help that? I was very impressed with how much she got out of it, and it really got me thinking about how being an outdoor explorer is more to me than just going out and looking around and experiencing things and going to festivals and going on hikes or fishing or hunting. It's really about keeping yourself educated on what's going on around you and around the state. And it really made me think about taking part in more of these type of things to educate myself and the importance about educating yourself. I mean, we go out in the outdoors and we see things, and I know some of you that go out are very well versed in the habitat that's around you, but others are always willing to learn more, and there are a lot of opportunities for us to get out there and learn more about the area that we're living in. And I think that's important. I think it's really important that we take those opportunities and seek those opportunities out to try to learn more about where we are. The one thing that you're gonna get out of these lectures that you won't get, just walking around, is you're gonna get some scientific facts, some data that you might not have realized. For instance, with the wolf presentation, they had some great charts on, the growth of the wolf habitat here in the last, 20 years, basically. And it was kind of impressive to see that and how they broke that down. And at some of these lectures, you're going to get history events, which I think is important because, to understand where we want to go as stewards of our environment, we got to kind of know where we've been. So you're going to get a lot of information, and I think that's good. I really think it's important for us to understand where we are and where we're going and where we've been in order to preserve what we have. I really think that's the key to all this, is learning to take that knowledge and hopefully sharing it with other people so that they can also grow and learn to respect the things that we love about this state. And the nice thing about some of these lectures are that they're not just about the animals and the wildlife that are in Wisconsin. There's lectures out there about plant life in Wisconsin and things that we see every day, but we might, not understand why or what's going on. So there's a lot of great opportunities out there, I think, to learn more about not just wildlife, but of plant life and, environmental impacts and all that stuff that you can go and learn and make good, educated decisions about how you want to treat our state when it comes to the environment and the habitat around us. So the way we found this lecture was an advertisement in our local paper. The Marathon County Historical Society was sponsoring this talk and invited people to come out and listen. So it got me thinking about, okay, how do I go about finding more of these? I'm fortunate enough that the Marathon County, Historical Society is going to be doing some other lectures. I think they're going to be doing some on some plant life that I'm going to look into in the future. But, I did what everybody else does in this day and age now. I did some Google searching. You really got to dig for some of these on the internet. I did find some through the UW extension. There were a few talks that they were available there. One of the things we're fortunate enough in Wisconsin to have is the UW system, which, isn't just UW-Madison. It goes through, pretty much, there's one very close to you, most likely, throughout the state. I mean, you go from, UW-Platteville all the way to UW-River Falls. So they're out there, and some of these places will do lectures that are open to the public, so you can come in and learn more about Wisconsin. It does take a little digging from what I found, but I'm going to do a little bit more research on where to find some of this stuff and get that information out to you. I found this one in the newspaper, my local newspaper, but if you do some internet searching, you'll find some things that you want to go to. Maybe there's going to be some high schools that'll be sponsoring some events, so just keep looking. They're out there. You just got to find them. But if you do find them, take that opportunity to attend something, to really get out there and see what it's all about and really take advantage of these, because I really think, like I said, it's important that for us to be more educated about the world that we're hiking in or fishing in or hunting in. You've got to understand it. You've got to understand what's going on. And I don't want to limit this just to going out and listening to somebody speak. There's a lot of great articles online that you can check out and read about whatever topic you're interested in. I mean, for example, I just did a quick search on Wisconsin white-tailed deer, and I can't tell you how many hundreds and hundreds of articles popped up about the white-tailed deer in Wisconsin. You can pretty much search anything and you're going to find articles on it. Obviously be aware of the source of those articles. Somebody's opinion isn't always a fact. So just understand where the article's coming from and what the source of that article is. You hate to say this, but there's some people out there that do have agendas and they'll push their opinion on you like it is fact. But that's the great part about reading articles. You can read a lot of different articles, get a lot of different opinions, and form your own opinion. Look out for some of the stuff that's a little bit more data heavy so that you get some of that, so you get some of that scientific data, some of that history, because I think that's important. Like I said, you need to know where we've been in order for us to figure out where we're going. There are some podcasts out there. There's not a lot of podcasts that are strictly informational about specific topics to our state, but that's something that I've realized, and that's something that I'm looking into. I hopefully expanding the podcast and doing some interviews, and maybe down the line I'll be able to interview some of these experts in some of these fields so that you can learn more from them. I think there's a possibility of that being a great resource to help us all learn more about Wisconsin and where Wisconsin is going. So just take the time, do a little research. Again, if you do get an opportunity to go out to one of these lectures, I highly recommend it. I always like listening to a professional speak about their field, and you always kind of get a feel for the passion and how serious they are about the topic. Say what you will about the Wisconsin DNR, but they do a great job of putting together these resources and lectures, and their people are pretty knowledgeable. So I'm not endorsed by the Wisconsin DNR, so don't think of that as an endorsement. But I know that they do a good job, and they do a lot of record keeping, a lot of data collection, and I think that's part of this whole process of learning and getting to know more about our state. So to kind of wrap up this episode, it's just about learning and how learning is a lifetime thing, that you need to keep learning. You need to keep working that brain so that you can understand what's happening, so that you have a better idea of things and why they're going on, and I think that'll bring you to a higher level of appreciation once you're out hiking, fishing, boating, whatever you're doing. A little knowledge never hurt anyone. So don't be afraid to go out and learn something new about the area around you. I mean, even if it's as simple as you want to get better at gardening, so you want to learn how to, get your soil ready so that your plants grow stronger. Those are the little things that are going to just help you appreciate what you have and what Wisconsin has to offer. So it really doesn't matter what it is, as long as you're learning and growing in that topic. And I think that's what really is important, is the learning, is just finding the ways to learn more about what's going on and not being afraid to ask questions. Don't be afraid to send emails to people if you read an article. Ask them questions. They're more than happy to respond because, if they write an article, if they're doing a talk or a lecture, they're obviously passionate about that subject. So don't be afraid to ask them questions. They enjoy the interaction. They really do. They enjoy learning your thoughts and what you're thinking and your ideas too. So because that just makes us all better. When we can share those ideas, that just makes us all better. So I think I'm going to wrap it up there. I think I'm just going to leave it at, don't be afraid to be a lifelong learner. Especially, don't be afraid to be one of Wisconsin's outdoor explorers. Thanks for listening. Thanks for taking a chance on this podcast. Again, be patient with me. I'm working on some things. I've got some ideas planned for future podcasts. I want to start doing some interviews here down the line. Please, if you've got any comments, feel free to go to the website. The website's up and running, and I'm getting some good compliments on that. There's ways to contact me there. Send me an email. Let me know what you think about what we're doing here at Wisconsin's Outdoor Explorer. I want to grow Wisconsin Outdoor Explorer for you so that you have a place to come to learn more about Wisconsin and the things that are happening throughout this whole state. So please, again, go to my website. It's wisconsinsoutdoorexplorer.com. Check it out. Let me know what you think. And please, make sure you subscribe to this podcast. Check out the Facebook page and like the Facebook page. And I'm working on some stuff for YouTube as well. So please just, connect with me. That's what this is all about. Let's connect together and let's keep moving this thing forward. So again, this is Jason with Wisconsin's Outdoor Explorer. Thanks for listening. Thanks for listening to the Wisconsin's Outdoor Explorer podcast. For more great information about being an outdoor explorer, visit our website at wisconsinsoutdoorexplorer.com. Be sure to check out the blog page and follow us on social media. And don't forget to subscribe to this podcast wherever you listen to your favorite podcasts.